This war is being fought on American soil right now, and believe it or not, all of us are pretty much taking part in it as we continue to be neglected by the government despite the troubles that millions of us face. Don't believe me? Here's the White House's message to us as they find out that more and more of us are running out of money.
So the president celebrated the GDP report, saying that it's a testament to the resilience of the American consumer, but the report also showed that personal savings dropped by $360 million. Do you have a message to Americans who are dipping into those savings to afford the inflation?
Well, again, as I said, what you are seeing is Americans are back in the labor force in record numbers, much higher participation that was anticipated and higher than pre-pandemic. So they're at work, and that is showing up also in the wealth number. So if you actually look at American households' median wealth in inflation-adjusted terms, it's actually gone up since before the pandemic. So I think the U.S. consumer, U.S. workers, they are absolutely the reason that we're seeing this resilience in the economy, and they are actually seeing increase in their wealth over this period.
Well, what about a message to Americans who are dipping into savings to afford their lifestyle?
So I think that, again, because net wealth is rising, because real incomes are rising, because Americans are working, that's exactly what we would want to see in the economy.
This is what they want to see? What? Folks, okay, I'm going to compose myself for this one. I can't be pissed or anything because that would reflect poorly on me. But let me ask you, is this what you want to see in the economy right now? Let me know how you guys feel. Just drop a quick comment, yes or no on that one, because I'm not sure if anyone is actually enjoying what's happening to our expenses. And while you guys do that, go ahead and smash the like button for the video. They're not going to like me for saying this out loud, but to ensure that you don't miss out on any of these updates that relate to all of us here in the country, subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications. Appreciate that, you guys. So getting back to what Miss Brainerd was saying, and no, I'm not joking. That's her actual name. She says that our wealth is increasing, right? Well, that's weird because a recent survey shows that 60% of Americans, or more than half of this country, are falling behind when it comes to emergency savings, with almost 40% reporting that they are significantly behind. Now, to make matters worse, 20% are reporting that they started this year without any emergency savings, and it looks like they're actually going to end it in the same way. Can you guys believe that? This makes me wonder how people in the White House perceive the situation of some Americans. I mean, can the disconnect between them and struggling Americans be this vast? The survey also shows that only 19% of Americans have increased their emergency savings since the start of 2023, and they found it clear that to do that, you have to make at least six figures or at least $100,000 a year. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York was at least aware of all this. I mean, they revealed in early October that more Americans are dipping into their savings, and they're doing it to prop up their consumption. Now, to give you guys a better understanding of how bad it is, Americans have had around $2.6 trillion in excess savings collectively, of course. Now, this was around 2020 to the end of 2021, but since then, it actually dropped by about 10% or $1.9 trillion by the second quarter of 2023. Now, the sad part is that they're getting money wherever they can get it, even their own retirement funds. But no, this is what we want to see in the economy, right? Heck, we're getting to a point where a majority of Americans might not even be able to buy a Big Mac anymore.
How much did you pay for a Big Mac? One man on Twitter posted signage from a Connecticut McDonald's where he paid $18 for a Big Mac combo meal. The man said it was a rest stop. It's located in one of the country's wealthiest towns in upscale Fairfield County. It also charges $19 for a quarter pounder with cheese and a bacon meal or a quarter pounder deluxe. And another example, the cheeseburger usually found on the dollar menu is going for $17 for two.
It's no wonder McDonald's is killing it as they beat all expectations for the 3-month period that ended in September by bringing in $6.69 billion, increasing their revenues by 14%. Now, the thing with McDonald's is that no two places have the same price, especially if they're far apart. So a Big Mac meal in Times Square would cost you less than $14. However, that's all going to change soon for sure. Their CFO even confirmed that consumers should expect an annual price hike of their products to hit at least 10% for the full year, making it the second consecutive year that they've made such an increase. Now, I remember when I used to be able to go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac, like a number one, a Big Mac, medium fries, and a drink for like $2.99, but that was like 20 years ago. Now, Now, it would be nice if the food was getting better, but I've actually heard from a lot of my friends that it sucks even more now, meaning that these chains are hiking the prices and at the same time they're skimping out on their quality of the food. What's up with that? Now, this proves that just because something's more expensive doesn't mean that it's actually better. Now, since we're talking about price hikes, did you guys hear about the price of orange juice lately?
The breakfast staple may soon be harder to find and more expensive. Last year, orange juice was around $1.81 per pound on average at the grocery store. But this year, it hit an all-time high of $3.69. That's up almost 78%. Most of the country's oranges are grown in Florida, a state hit with 2 heavy hurricanes, abnormally heavy rain, and a freeze at the end of last year.
Now, if we were to go by the prices of orange juice back in March of 2020, then you would realize that its price skyrocketed by almost 400%. That's just unbelievable. And since expenses are becoming a huge strain for more and more Americans, it's very clear that more and more of them are now resorting to stealing. I mean, why else would local CVS stores in Washington resort to displaying photos of products on their shelves instead of actually having the products on the shelves? And I mean, have you seen this? Anybody here from Washington? It's like they're having a sale on photo frames, you know what I'm saying? The aisles are going to be empty, but you're at least going to have some photos of toilet paper, a photo of mouthwash, and all these different things that normally don't need to be hidden.
A CVS store in DC's Columbia Heights neighborhood being repeatedly targeted by thieves. Take a look at this video here. Now the shelves are bare and empty. Fox 5 Sierra Fox in Northwest after checking it out and hearing from customers that are concerned about the 14th Street location.
Take a look here. When you walk into this CVS, you think the store is closing because there's barely anything on the shelves. In fact, the only items in stock are the ones that are locked up. I did ask an employee what gets stolen the most, and they just laughed and said everything. I spoke with multiple customers who say it's frustrating.
It makes me not want to shop there, to be honest. I go and get my prescription, and then when I need other things, I go elsewhere because there's nothing there to get.
According to people who work at the CVS in Columbia Heights, a big group of kids, like 45 or more, walk in before school, after school, and late at night to steal chips and drinks. They even throw the food and beverages on the ground and stomp on them, leaving behind a big mess. Fox 5 did witness teens doing that while inside the business and even after they walked outside. Staff at CVS have been alerted that thieves are aware of when new shipments come in, and that's when they target the store. We're told that street vendors are allegedly paying people to go in and steal stuff so they can resell it. When we walked down 14th Street in Northwest DC, we did notice street vendors selling toothbrushes, men and women body wash, car fresheners, as well as laundry and cleaning supplies, which are some of the same items no longer available at CVS.
Now, to make us feel even worse, did you guys know that in Barcelona, MacBooks are out in the open? This just shows how different things are now here in our country. It's now become a shell of its former self, and the question is, where do we go wrong? Now, at this point, can we still consider ourselves a first world country? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and before I go, I just want to thank you guys so much for keeping up with me. Please keep safe. Thank you for liking the video, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Take care.